Imagine a civilization that vanished thousands of years ago, leaving behind cities so advanced they rival modern urban planning. A society with flushing toilets, intricate drainage systems, and standardized weights and measures, all flourishing over 4,000 years ago. This isn't science fiction. This was the Indus Valley Civilization, one of the world's first great urban cultures, and it was mysteriously forgotten for millennia. Today, we're going to uncover the secrets of this incredible society that was, in many ways, thousands of years ahead of its time, stretching across what is now modern-day Pakistan and northwest India. The Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Harappan Civilization, was a contemporary of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. But while we've all heard tales of pharaohs and ziggurats, the Harappans remain largely in the shadows of history. Why? One major reason is that we still can't read their writing. They left behind thousands of small seals and tablets, covered in a unique and beautiful script. But it's a puzzle that linguists have yet to solve. Without their own words to guide us, we're left to piece together their story like detectives, using the incredible archaeological evidence they left behind. And what evidence it is? Let's talk about their cities. Forget the chaotic, unplanned settlements you might imagine from the ancient world. Cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa were masterpieces of urban design. They were built on a grid system, straight wide streets intersecting at perfect right angles. This wasn't accidental. It was planned from the ground up. The cities were typically divided into two main sections: a lower city where most people lived and worked, and a raised citadel, which likely housed important public buildings, granaries, and possibly religious or administrative centers. This level of organization suggests a strong, centralized authority that could coordinate massive construction projects. Now, let's get to the part that truly blows my mind. Their sanitation systems. While much of Europe was still centuries away from understanding basic hygiene, the people of the Indus Valley were living in homes with private bathrooms. Yes, you heard that right. Many houses had dedicated bathing areas and toilets that were connected to a citywide network of underground drains. These covered drains, built with precisely laid bricks, ran along the main streets, carrying waste away from the homes and out of the city. They even had inspection manholes so the system could be maintained. This level of hydraulic engineering is astounding and was unseen again on such a scale for thousands of years. It shows an incredible concern for public health and cleanliness that was simply unparalleled in the ancient world. The houses themselves were also remarkably uniform. They were built with standardized, baked bricksoil, made to the same size ratio. This wasn't just for looks. It made construction efficient and strong. Think of it like ancient Lagios. This standardization extended far beyond architecture. Archaeologists have found a system of weights and measures that was consistent across the entire civilization, spanning hundreds of miles. They had a series of cubical weights, perfectly calibrated, which were used for trade and taxation. This uniformity simplified commerce, allowing merchants to trade goods fairly and efficiently from one end of the empire to the other. It speaks to a highly organized and integrated economy. Speaking of trade, the Harappans were master traders. Their cities were hubs of activity. We've found beautiful pottery, intricate beadwork made from carnelian and other semi-precious stones, and delicate figurines. But their reach went far beyond their own borders. Harappan seals have been discovered in Mesopotamia, thousands of miles away, proving they were part of a vast international trade network. They likely sailed down the Persian Gulf, exchanging goods like cotton, lumber, and exotic beads for metals and other materials. Imagine the courage of those ancient sailors, navigating the open sea in red boats, connecting worlds. They were true pioneers of globalization, thousands of years before the term was even invented. But here's where the story gets even more fascinating and mysterious. For all their organization and advancement, the Indus Valley Civilization seems to have been remarkably peaceful. In the ruins of their cities, we find very few weapons. There are no grand palaces celebrating warrior kings, no massive fortifications built for war, and no art depicting battles or conquest, which are all common in Egypt and Mesopotamia. Their public structures were granaries and great baths, not fortresses. This has led many experts to believe that their society was not governed by a powerful king or a military elite, but perhaps by a council of merchants, priests, or elders. It raises the tantalizing possibility of an ancient civilization that prioritized trade and community, well-being over war and conflict. Could it have been an ancient proto-republic? We can only speculate. Their spiritual life is another enigma. We find many terracotta figurines of women, often referred to as mother goddesses, suggesting that the worship of a female deity may have been central to their beliefs. We also see seals depicting a figure seated in a yoga-like posture, surrounded by animals. Some scholars have linked this proto-Shiva figure to later Hindu deities, suggesting a deep-rooted continuity in the subcontinent's spiritual traditions. The Great Bath at Mohenjo-Daro, a large, meticulously constructed pool, likely played a role in religious rituals, perhaps for purification ceremonies. It shows that water wasn't just for sanitation. It held a sacred significance. So, what happened to this incredible civilization? Around 1900 BC, after centuries of prosperity, the great cities of the Indus Valley began to decline. The reasons are still debated, but it seems it wasn't a single, catastrophic event, but a gradual process. One leading theory points to climate change. The monsoon patterns may have shifted, leading to a drying of the Gagahakra River, which was a vital water source for many of their settlements. This would have crippled their agriculture, the very foundation of their society. Other theories include tectonic shifts that altered river courses, outbreaks of disease, or a disruption of their trade networks. It was likely a combination of these factors. People didn't just disappear overnight. They began to abandon the large urban centers and move into smaller, more rural villages. The sophisticated urban culture, the grid-planned streets, the advanced drainage, the standardized weights faded away. The art of writing was lost, and with it, their history and their stories. For over 3,000 years, the magnificent cities of the Indus Valley lay buried and forgotten under layers of earth, their legacy erased from human memory. It wasn't until the 1920s that archaeologists, following clues from railway workers who had been using ancient bricks for track balance, rediscovered the ruins of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, finally bringing this lost civilization back into the light. The story of the Indus Valley Civilization is a powerful and humbling reminder. It shows us that progress isn't always a straight line. Here was a society that achieved a level of urban sophistication that would not be seen again in the region for 1,000 years. They were masters of water management, pioneers of urban planning, and participants in a global trade network. And yet, they were vulnerable. Their decline teaches us a timeless lesson about the fragility of even the most advanced societies in the face of environmental change. As we continue to excavate their cities and work to decipher their enigmatic script, who knows what other secrets they might reveal. The Indus Valley Civilization challenges our assumptions about the ancient world. It shows us a different model of civilization, one that perhaps valued peace, order, and public welfare over monuments to power and glory. They were a forgotten superpower, a quiet giant of the Bronze Age, whose innovations in urban living still have the power to inspire us today. They were a civilization truly ahead of their time, and their story is far from over. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of our past. Let me know in the comments what aspect of the Indus Valley Civilization you find most incredible. Until next time, stay curious.